Okay, let's change the mood. Let's focus on something cool. You know, checkmate lessons are always cool. This one is not going to be the exception. So yeah, I think you saw this video, but I want you to see it again.
I was told to say an anecdote. Anecdotes are easy. So I thought to myself, what kind of anecdote can I tell these people who really have more important things to do? And I figured I'm going to tell you how Spider-Man came into being. It's a true story, although sometimes it's hard even for me to believe it. But we had already done the Fantastic Four and I think maybe the X-Men, I can't remember the order, but my publisher came to me and he said, Stan, I want you to come up with another superhero. So I said, okay, went home, and when my publisher said do something, I'd better do it because I wanted to keep my job. I thought, what can I come up with now? And the most important thing in a superhero at first is the superpower. Once you get that, everything else comes along. So I thought, what power will I give a new guy? And I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I said, hey, if I could get a superhero that could stick to walls and crawl on them, man, that would be cool. And I thought that was good. Now I needed a name. So I said, well, let's see, Fly Man, Mosquito Man. I got down to Spider-Man. Spider-Man. It just sounded dramatic. So, okay, I had my hero, I had his power, his name, and then I figured just for fun, I'm going to give him personal problems. Because except for you people who are that your lives are perfect, but most other people have personal problems. And then I thought I'd make him a teenager, because there were no teenage superheroes that I knew of at the time. So armed with all that wonderful material, those great ideas, I ran into my publisher's office and I told him. This was my reaction, the reaction he gave me. Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. First of all, and he started to give me his, because he's a very logical man, very intellectual. First of all, people hate spiders, so you can't call a hero Spider-Man. You want him to be a teenager? Teenagers can only be sidekicks. And you want him to have personal problems? Stan, don't you know what a superhero is? They don't have personal problems. Well, I left the office disappointed, but obviously a much wiser man. And I couldn't get Spider-Man out of my system. So we were about to kill a magazine. I think it was called Amazing Fantasy. It wasn't selling well, and we were sending the last issue to press. When you do the last issue of a magazine, nobody cares what you put in it because the book is dying. Just to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy, feature him on the cover, forgot about it. A month later, all the sales figures came in. My publisher came racing into my office. Stan, you remember that character we both loved so much, Spider-Man? He said, let's do him as a series. Now, why am I telling you this? Besides the fact that I have to kill a little time. If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it.
Do you want us to share what we think, right? Oh.
Yes, teacher.
Well, I think that it's true, and most of the times we don't trust on ourselves. and we just pay attention on what others say about our goals, about our do we want to achieve, and we refused, and then maybe we would regret about it because other people will do it sooner or later.
Yes.
Come on, Pancho.
Now I'm organizing my ideas. The question is going to be, how you know, or how you know that the idea it's a good idea? Because sometimes you can criticize or objective, or be objective about your ideas. So I think you have to you have to be rounded from people that maybe they give you a good advice at your ideas. And after that, maybe you are going to realize if it's going to be a good idea or it's a bad idea. No? But in case in Spider-Man doesn't happen.
Well, in this case, I think that this person knows the formula for telling a story. So he describes that formula, and he was very sure that was a good story, and it would be a good series, a successful series. So he continued to pushing to give this to the people. That's what I think, that he was perseverant with his idea.
Or sometimes you have to try it or test it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say regarding what you said before. The only way we will know if it's good or bad idea, it's just trying it.
Try.
Yeah, but we also need to be realistic when we want to do something and put everything in order, or to analyze the pros and cons. And that's why we thought it. What do you think, girls? Nai, what do you think? Did you see the video?
Not complete. Hi, everybody. But I agree with you about to be realistic with your ideas, because sometimes we can imagine something very ultra special, but just in our mind and not in the way that you develop.
Did you like today's lesson?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
What in
weird.
the fucking hell, if I'm doing this effort to stay quiet and write all the things you say, didn't Nayeli or Brenda even made the minimal effort to participate? Nah, don't worry. I know you guys are shy. Let's say that. But remember, these kind of techniques are useful when you're a teacher and you are very mamon as myself, to force you to speak, to not only to speak, but to lead the conversation, which is not easy. Just giving some answers, that's good, but that's not advanced stuff. And we are in the prose lesson. So I expect more from you, more eloquence, more linking of ideas, more punch, more everything there, okay? Not only Veloz biting her nails. So I want everybody to get it here. you know, these 2 weeks have been the therapy sessions of Checkmate, right? It was about 2020 last week, and this week was about 2021. Okay, so obviously I will send the document with in a PowerPoint, and I want you to take the weekend to complete this the year ahead. The year ahead is very nice. It's really nice. Whenever you have the chance, just fill it in. In fact, I strongly recommend, well, I don't like to kill trees, but I strongly recommend you print it and you write your answers. Here are my answers. One day, if you are good enough with me, I will share them with you, but not today, because this is brilliant work, right? This is something that is not to be shared with anyone. So yeah, it's a very personal book, and I really appreciate that you were keen enough to share this with your classmates. But I really want, for at least in the version that you keep yourselves, I really want you to write the real stuff, the darkest stuff, the real things you want to let go, even if it makes you cry, even if it makes you feel anything to yourself. But really internalize these kind of questions, because honestly, and Karencita is a psychologist and she knows, fucking therapy is freaking expensive. Say, I'm saving you tons of money with these exercises, and they are going to help you a lot. Okay, reflection is always good. Obviously, if you need help, always seek help. But in this thing, it's always good to stop a little and think about what happened and what's coming. Those are the two questions you always have to ask yourself, and be ready for it. I really like the sentences like Karen's, who talk about saving money for contingencies like this one, right? We prior to 2020, we never thought we would have these kind of contingencies, and now, toma la putos. Okay, so it's really smart. It's really intelligent to think like that, to learn from our experiences, and to try to make the most of them. Okay, so save money, start selling drugs, buy all the weapons you can in case we turn into zombies. Stationize your house with food and things that can't perish. Buy your dogs for your self-defense. Prepare for that. Okay, he's lovely. He's just lovely. She is lovely, right, Karen? What's her name?
Queenie.
Queenie. Okay. Okay. Nice name.
He's angry or she's angry?
She is.
Her eyes are like this, but she's very, very, very lovely.
She's like,
Yes.
I love her. Okay, we're still missing a date, a play date with Stark.
Yes.
Okay, so I will send the document. Please try to fill that in. And next class, we're going to wrap this lesson up. Do you understand wrap up? To like close this activity with the things that you do want to share. So be ready for it. Just the things you want to share with us and your experience during these exercises. And then we have to move on because we have a lot of things to check, okay? I hope you enjoyed Checkmates. Now you know that you are famous. You are in our YouTube channels. If you want to check any lesson that you missed, that's the idea, that you can check the lessons that any of you miss. So they are going to be uploaded in our channel. Check them, and thank you very much. I love you. Never change. You're worth 1,000. I know that you miss my voice, but here it is.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.